Why do men make the worst moves when women ignore them? Because they let emotions, not strategy, guide their actions. When a woman ignores you, it triggers something primal. For many men, it's an ego hit, and for others, it's desperation. And that's where the mistakes begin, big mistakes that push her further away. What's worse? These mistakes ruin your value in her eyes and yours. Here's the hard truth most men don't want to hear. A woman ignoring you isn't always about you. Sometimes it's her own emotions, distractions, or testing your reaction. But instead of stepping back and thinking rationally, most men overreact. They call endlessly, send paragraphs of texts, or worse, try to win her back by bending over backward. These moves aren't just ineffective, they're unattractive. The more you chase, the more she pulls away. It's like quicksand. The harder you fight, the faster you sink. Men who don't understand this dynamic set themselves up for failure. They lose not only the woman's respect, but their own self-worth. What makes this topic controversial is the blunt reality. You cannot force someone to value you, and the harder you try to force it, the more they'll resist. Yet, society often conditions men to believe the opposite, to prove their worth, beg for attention, or worse, settle for breadcrumbs of affection. But here's the power move most men miss. When she ignores you, the last thing you need to do is fix it. Instead, it's your time to step back, reassess, and refuse to play into her game. This isn't about manipulation or pretending you don't care. It's about respecting yourself enough to avoid falling into the traps that so many men do. This video will show you the mistakes you absolutely must avoid when a woman ignores you. Some of them might surprise you. Others might challenge the way you think. But every single one will put you back in control of the situation and, more importantly, your life. So if you're ready to stop the cycle of chasing, begging, or overcompensating, stay tuned. This is your wake-up call to do better, not for her, but for yourself. 1. Stop chasing her. Here's the truth. Chasing her will not make her want you more. In fact, it will do the opposite. When you chase, you give away your power, and your value drops in her eyes. Attraction is built on respect and mystery, not desperation. When she starts to ignore you, it's tempting to double down and pursue even harder. You start texting more, calling more, and trying to get her attention. But this is the worst thing you can do. It only makes you seem needy, and no one is attracted to neediness. It signals that you're willing to do anything to get her attention, which weakens your position. Think about it like this. Imagine you're walking past a store, and you see something you like. You see the price tag and think, wow, that's a little too expensive. But if the storekeeper starts following you, repeating over and over how great the item is, would that make you want to buy it? No, it would probably make you walk away faster. That's exactly how it works when you chase a woman. The more you chase, the less she values you. Women are attracted to men who have their own life, their own goals, and who are not emotionally dependent on anyone, including her. If you constantly chase after her, you're saying you don't have anything else going on. You're telling her that her attention is the most important thing in your life. You may think that will make her want you more, but in reality, it's pushing her away. Instead, focus on yourself. Develop your interests, your career, your friendships. The less you chase, the more you will find that people, women included, will begin chasing you. It's about setting boundaries and not being afraid to walk away if someone is not giving you the respect you deserve. So when she starts ignoring you, step back. Stop texting her, stop calling her, and stop trying to win her over. Let her feel the space. She'll start wondering where you went, and suddenly she'll feel the loss. Now you're no longer the one running after her, you're the one she's chasing. The power dynamic shifts, and that's when things start to get interesting. Women want what they can't easily have. If you chase her and give her everything too easily, there's no challenge, and the attraction fades. Instead, create that challenge by maintaining your independence and letting her come to you. 2. Don't beg for attention. Begging for attention is one of the most unattractive things you can do. It shows that you're emotionally dependent and that you'll take whatever scrap she gives you. And here's the harsh reality. Women don't want a man who is begging for their time, energy, or affection. The more you beg, the more you lower your own value in her eyes. When she's ignoring you, don't fall into the trap of begging her to talk to you. Don't send her a long text explaining how much you miss her or asking why she's being distant. You're essentially pleading for her attention, and that's not a position of power. It's a position of weakness. This might seem like a way to win her back, but in reality, it pushes her further away. Women value men who have a sense of self-respect. When you beg for attention, you show her that you're willing to lower your standards just to get a reaction. That's not attractive. It's desperate. If she's ignoring you, there's a reason. Maybe she's busy, maybe she's lost interest, or maybe she's testing your boundaries. Regardless, begging for attention won't fix the issue. It will only make things worse. She might respond, but it won't be out of genuine desire. It'll be because you've made it clear you're available at her convenience. And once you've shown her that you're always going to be there, the power dynamic shifts even further. Instead of begging for attention, walk away. Focus on your life, your hobbies, your passions. When you stop begging for attention, you create a sense of mystery and value. She'll start to wonder why you're not constantly reaching out. This shift will make her start missing you. And when she misses you, she will want to reconnect on her own terms. You're a man with a life. You have things going on. And if she truly values your presence, she'll make an effort to return your attention. But if you're constantly begging her to notice you, you're doing the opposite of what's necessary to get her to miss you. She needs to feel like she could lose you, or she'll never truly value you. So stop begging. Start living. The more you chase her, the less she will want you. Instead, let her chase you. 3. Don't overtext or overcall. It's tempting, right? You haven't heard from her in a while, and you start feeling anxious. You think, if I just send one more text, or maybe this call will get her attention. But here's the truth. Constantly texting or calling when she's ignoring you is not the way to win her back. It's the quickest way to push her away even more. Let's be real. When a woman is ignoring you, the last thing you should do is bombard her with messages. If she's not responding, it's probably because she needs space. And bombarding her will only make her feel overwhelmed. Every text, every call, every message is just adding to the noise she's already trying to ignore. You might think it's helping, but it's actually showing her that you're unable to be calm and patient. It shows her that you're not in control of your emotions, and that's not attractive. Instead, think about your own emotions. How often have you felt overwhelmed by constant communication? How many times have you been annoyed by someone who can't give you space? You need to put yourself in her shoes. Women want a man who can give them space and respect their time. If you keep texting or calling, you're not showing her respect. You're showing desperation. It's a simple concept. If you want her to miss you, you need to stop chasing her. When you send text after text or call repeatedly, you're not giving her the space to think about you. You're robbing her of the opportunity to miss you, which is exactly what you want to happen. It's easy to get caught up in emotions and feel like you have to keep reaching out, but think about the bigger picture. You need to learn to take a step back. Allow her the space to come to you. When you stop over-texting or over-calling, it shows that you are in control of your life and emotions. You're not desperate. You're not needy. You're strong enough to take a step back and let her make the move. Take a deep breath and resist the urge. Giving her space will make her miss you more than constant messaging ever will. 4. Stop worshiping her. Let's be honest. Many guys fall into the trap of putting a woman on a pedestal. They give her all the attention, admiration, and validation she could ever want, while forgetting about their own needs. If you're constantly worshiping her, you're doing it all wrong. You're giving her too much power, and the worst part is, she knows it. The second she realizes you're too focused on her, the less respect she'll have for you. It's time to wake up and stop making her the center of your world. When you treat a woman like she's the best thing to ever happen to you, you're saying with your actions that you don't have a life outside of her. And guess what? That's not attractive. Women are drawn to men who have their own lives, passions, and ambitions. When you're constantly giving her your full attention, you're telling her that you have nothing else to offer but her. Take a moment to think. Do you know what makes you feel powerful, confident, and attractive? It's not just about giving her compliments or trying to please her at every turn. It's about having your own goals, ambitions, and a life outside of her. If she sees that you're driven, focused, and living your life with purpose, she'll start to wonder what she's missing when you're not around. If you're always there to do whatever she wants, she'll start taking you for granted. Why would she chase you if she knows you're just waiting around to do her bidding? The more you worship her, the more you weaken your position in her eyes. You're showing her that you don't have a backbone and that you'll drop everything for her. She won't respect that, and she sure won't miss it. Here's the hard truth. You need to start respecting yourself more. You need to have boundaries and not let her walk all over you. Stop giving her the control. Be the man who has his own life, his own identity, and his own goals. When you stop worshiping her and start putting yourself first, that's when she'll truly start to appreciate your presence. Don't fall into the trap of being the guy who lives and breathes for her. Start living for yourself and watch how the dynamic shifts. If you want her to miss you, you have to make her feel that she could lose you. Respect yourself, and she will respect you more. 5. Become unpredictable. Here's the last secret. Stop being predictable. Women are attracted to mystery. They want a man who isn't always giving away every move, every thought, every feeling. The moment you become too predictable, too easy to read, that's when the excitement fades. The chase is over. Why would she chase you if she already knows exactly what to expect? Let's face it, many guys fall into the trap of doing the same thing every time. They text her at the same time every day. They say the same things, and they behave in the same way. You've got to change that. If she's used to knowing exactly how you're going to react or behave, she'll lose interest because the mystery is gone. But if you start to surprise her, if you stop responding to her every whim immediately, and if you make her wonder where you are or what you're up to, she will start to chase you. Unpredictability is what keeps her engaged. It makes her feel that she's missing out on something, and that's exactly what you want. The best part? You don't need to play games or pretend to be someone you're not. It's about being comfortable with yourself enough to not feel the need to be available 24/7. It's about doing what's best for you, not following her script. When you're unpredictable, you become interesting. You're no longer someone who can be counted on to be there whenever she calls. You're not just a man she can manipulate or control. You're someone who is busy with his life, and that alone makes you a challenge. It's in the unpredictability of your actions, your reactions, and your movements that you create a sense of longing. She'll start to crave your presence because she doesn't know what to expect next. This isn't about playing games or being dishonest. It's about showing her that you are the prize and that your time is valuable. You don't need to always answer her texts immediately or always be available to hang out. Create some space. Live your own life. Be unpredictable in your availability, your responses, and how you show up in the relationship. When you're unpredictable, she'll start to realize she could lose you, and that fear of losing you is what will make her chase after you. In the end, it's simple. Keep her on her toes, and you'll keep her interest. Here's the truth no one wants to admit. The more you care, the less she'll care. It's hard to accept, but it's the reality of how attraction works. Women respect and chase after men who have their own lives, their own goals, and their own independence. When you're overly available or overly invested too early, you show her that you're desperate for her attention, and that kills attraction. Desperation doesn't make a woman want you more, it pushes her away. You need to understand this. You are not entitled to her time, affection, or attention. And when you stop acting like you are, you'll see her interests start to rise. It's a hard pill to swallow, but the best way to make a woman chase you is to stop chasing her. Now, I want to hear from you. Have you experienced this? How did you handle it? Drop your thoughts, your stories, and your experiences in the comments. I'll be personally reaching out to connect with you and hear what's worked or hasn't worked in your dating life. Let's build a real connection. Share your journey and I'll share mine. We're all in this together.